Okay, I'm Dave, and I'm going to talk about podcasting, using podcasts in the classroom. I'm sure lots of you are familiar with iTunes, and I'm going to show you how to access iTunes podcasts to be able to use in your classroom. If I can get this go to get off my screen, then we will be good to go. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, lots of you are familiar getting music and videos off of iTunes, but let's say that we wanted to look up something that had to do with math. So we type in math, and it'll take me to the store, and it has lots of different artists that have to do with math. But over here you can choose music or movies, TV shows, apps, audiobooks, podcasts, or iTunes U. First we're going to go to podcasts, and let me show you about that. Then we'll go to iTunes U, but on podcasts, this will narrow it down to just podcasts. And here we have the Math Dude and some quick tips, mental math secrets, math videos. There's lots and lots of great resources out there. If you click See All, you'll see lots of them, but I'm just going to click here, and then the titles of what's on there will pop up. And here's lots of different titles, and they're all free. Most of the education ones are free. In fact, I've found very few that are not free. If you want to subscribe, what will happen is anytime there's a new one, it'll automatically upload it to your iTunes account. You can click on free and it'll start downloading it. This tells you the name of it, how long it is, when it was released, so you can see that they're in chronological order. This actually has 179 episodes, which is actually quite a few. A lot of the ones I've looked at so far have 30, 40, not quite up in the hundreds. This is close to 200, and it's very well. It looks like they ended at the end of June, but they went back a long ways. If we click back and we get to math, we're going to go to iTunes U. And in iTunes U, this is educational things. So there's college level courses, there's different school districts that have put on their either online curriculum. The Utah High School U is on there, and so you can access a lot of their lectures or their textbooks that they use. But there's more than just math. There's all different types. If we do language arts, then it'll access all of the things, first of all, that have language arts titles to them. And then we have to narrow the search because we don't necessarily want all of this stuff. Language arts crew, we don't need that. So we're going to go down to iTunes U and just kind of look and see what they have there. I would click on See All, but because it's running a little slow, I don't want to take all of your time. And here we've got some things from New Jersey, from Arizona, California, Texas, Florida, Arizona, University of Southern California. One interesting one that I found is under podcasts, and it is the World Literature Podcasts. And this has lots of artists, or I mean authors that they talk about. from Shakespeare and Hamlet, and what they do is they read it and discuss it. Chaucer, and they have lots and lots of different episodes. Once you have, you can click on free and download it or subscribe. Once you've subscribed, then they'll show up in your podcasts. And we actually want this. And you can subscribe to the podcast, which I'll subscribe to. And now you just click Get All, and it'll start downloading all of them. It takes a little bit of time to download it according to your connection speed, but I use this one here, the physics of snowboarding. In my class, we were talking about how everything involves math, and some kids said, well, I like to snowboard, and that doesn't involve math. And I showed them this clip, and they started to understand that lots and lots of things involve math. As you start to play with these, you'll start to see some of the better ones, some of them that look like there wasn't a lot of time spent on them, some of them that are just amazing and teach the kids the concepts almost better than a teacher in person can. The thing that I like about these is that the students are able to pause them and write down the information and then play them again, or they can listen to them anytime they want. They can download them onto their iPods and listen to them over and over again, review the lessons at home. They can listen to them at school. You can also, it's free to create podcasts and to put them onto iTunes. And so if you were to podcast your own lesson, then the kids could listen to it, and the kids could review their lesson. Or if they were gone, then you could say, well, go to my iTunes account and access my lesson. I use a few of these, not all of them, in my class just to help the kids understand a different perspective, and they get a different language or vocabulary that's used. And I think that it's good for the kids that are at all different paces of learning. The slower ones can pause it and rewind it and play it again. The faster ones can just go through it and listen to it the first one time and get it. But there's hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there that deal with different topics and different subjects that people have already created. And my thought is, why are we trying to recreate something that's already been created? So take an opportunity to go to iTunes, look at some of their podcasts, and see how you can apply that into your class.